When you see a hole in the sole right here, and you have heel bulb separation up above, you know that it's all connected. Welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. Now for this video, I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit on that background noise. On this farm, there was a really squeaky fan, and I had my headphones on, so I didn't really notice it at the time, but you can sure hear it in the video. That's one of the downfalls of trimming in the summer months, but that's okay. This will still be a good trim. We'll just back that down a little bit so we don't have to listen to that. So what we got here, obviously we've got a hole in that white line area in that sole of that cow's foot, and because of that, it's caused that heel bulb to separate up above as that pressure worked out the top. So we need to trim this down now normally, and then we're going to work on that area right there. We'll zoom in a little bit. You can see how wide that is. Likely we'll find some rocks in there. You can see that separation up above. It's also got a little bit of digital dermatitis on it. But let's get this trim finished up before we tackle that. I always check areas with the hook of my knife like this because when it's wide like that, it's almost always got something in there that made it that wide. In this case, there wasn't really anything obvious, so now we can start trimming on it. Now I know that these marks in the sole are connected to that separation up above, and I could just go up there and hook that and start working my way down right now. But I'm going to thin this area first. That way when I do make that cut, that horn is going to be much thinner, much more pliable. I'm going to be able to slip the hook of my knife back in behind that a lot easier, and that's going to allow for the removal of that horn a lot easier. Give this a quick rinse down. You can see all that debris packed in and around that sole. That's from that separation. Each time she steps, that separation allows stuff to get caught up in behind that as she takes that step. So we'll wash some of that away. It'll make it a little bit cleaner working here. While it looks like it's just the sole that's separated here, there's actually a little bit of loose wall horn there. We're going to remove that as well, but first I'm going to get this sole horn removed, and then I'll work my way and get the rest of that wall horn that's detached away as well. Once again, I'm going to thin that wall horn down before I take it away. Now that we've gotten that trimmed up, you can get a better view of the lesion itself in the sole. You can also get a better view of those two lesions up above, digital dermatitis. We're going to have to deal with that. But this is a good time now. We'll get a block on that other claw, and then we'll go back. You'll get one more close-up as we get that all cleaned up, and you'll get a real good view of what we're dealing with here. Now you might be wondering, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Or in this case, the lesion in the sole or the dermatitis up above. Now likely what happened, the white line issue is what allowed that separation and what gave access to that digital dermatitis or those bacteria that cause digital dermatitis to colonize on that sole. Because it was wide open, those bacteria could get in there and then begin to flourish. Not likely the other way around, just because of the way these problems originate tends to be from pressure or perforations in that white line. So that's why we can kind of figure that. And that's how digital dermatitis is. It is very opportunistic. Any place where it can gain access, that's where it's gonna work its way in there and start to spread across that sole. Had we not intervened at this point, it could have continued to work its way down that sole. As promised, we'll give you another close-up of that area. You can see the original lesion in the sole, those 2 lesions up above, that digital dermatitis there. Now we're going to spray this down really well, get it all cleaned up, and that way we can apply our salicylic acid wrap. Well, there you have it. Salicylic acid is in place, the wrap is going on, and she soon will be back with her herd mates in her pen. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.